Welcome back. Welcome, listeners, to the wonderful show in town, the one and only show, the Progressive Mind Show, right here at WGHC 98.3 FM. This is your host, Senna, aka Alinko. Today we are bringing you the topic, the interesting topic, which is get your money right. There's a reason why you have to get your money right, because we toil for it. You know, we work hard for the American dollar. Yours might not be American dollar. If it's Ghanaian cedi, if it's pound, euro, whatever it is, you work hard for it. So there's a need for you to get it right. If it's a home that you want to buy your money with, or it's an estate or cars or properties, whatever you want to use your money for, I bet you want to use it right. And there's a reason why we have to use it right. So today we're going to be talking to two wonderful gentlemen in our community, in the person of Mr. Boateng, Ahyiah, and Mr. Davidson, Zigah. These are astute, intelligent, smart, with a lot of experience in mortgage financing, real estate issues, and credit management experience. These gentlemen are going to be breaking down for us. So please do not go anywhere. Stay with us this evening as we discuss thorough the issue of get your money right. And like I said, there's a reason for it. Later on in the show, I will be giving you the number to ring in to express your views, ask questions, and add to the conversation tonight. As you know, with Progressive Minds, it's all about building our community. So I urge you to join us so we can together build our community. This is the time you have to join. This is the time you have to join the bandwagon so we can do this, because it's going to get to a time that, like, what is his name? What is this guy's name? Mashatawale will say, "Bas na your maintenance away." If you don't join the bus now, in the few months, you might just be late, because the WGAC radio station has gone very far. We just completed our first annual Chicago African tournament, African Cup of Nations tournament, and I bet you it was wonderful. The feedback is tremendous. You will not believe it. I'll be giving you details when I come back, and also give you the sports update. So please stay tuned to WGH 98.3 FM. This is the Progressive Minds show once again, with your host Senna, and we're going for one musical break. If my producer is ready, let's roll. When we come back, we'll give you the sports update.
Education, but surely knows from right. Waste my time. When you talk about me, I go shine. My body no be only me where you dey try. Oh, I get shot while be some different guy. But see, she make a tell them the life. Where we dey live for street, no be lies. Your woman says she love my style. It's about time before they stop this guy. Ayo. I bend your back, guess I need a moko. Ayo. Obi has to run, nobody go beat up with a kill our future. Ayo. I bend your back, guess I need a moko. Ayo. The never talk say, shut up, be good, always I be bad. For me, I watch for just being me. No be today when we start this thing. Then they die when I say I be the dancehall king. But I know say then me like my thing. Like I repeat them again, nobody can stop me. My mind that they use high and key. In your blood, face when me just save. Nobody can never tie me. Oh no, you to juju. Try mo, ya be tutu. Ya is the gominchi of voodoo. Oh no, you to juju. I'm a baby, if you to my kudu. Can't wait, bear me foot to mouth. Medakana mau. Wale, medakana mau. Agbapita, ayo. I bend your back, guess I need a moko. Ayo. Obi has to run, nobody go beat up with a kill our future. Ayo. I bend your back, guess I need a moko. Ayo. The never talk say, shut up, be good, always I be bad. Waste my time. When you talk about me, I go shine. My body no be only me where you dey try. Oh, I get shot while be some different guy. But see, she make a tell them the life. Where we dey live for street, no be lies. Your woman says she love my style. It's about time before they stop this guy. Ayo. I bend your back, guess I need a moko. Ayo. Obi has to run, nobody go beat up with a kill our future. Ayo. I bend your back, guess I need a moko. Ayo. The never talk say, shut up, you put
Yes, that was a teaser. It's gonna come, okay? All you lovers of Lucky Dube is gonna come. Right about now is the sports update right here at WGHC 98.3 FM. Again, this is the Progressive Mind Show with your favorite host, Senna, aka Alinko. I will dive straight into the sports update now. For the health and fitness update, our listeners, we sincerely apologize. What is happening is that Ed is on vacation, and so he has promised. He knows that. He misses you and you miss him, and but he has, he's on vacation, and he's definitely going to come so we can resume the health and fitness update section. But for now, Ed is not available, so we'll dive straight into the sports updates. Once we are done, we'll go directly into the main program for tonight. Well, in the world of sports, for you soccer lovers, the MLS Stars are going to be playing Real Madrid on the 2nd of August, right here in Chicago at Soldier Fields. So you lovers of soccer who want to see and lovers of Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah, okay. Okay, WGH is going to be working for that. So my producer is just telling me. So yeah, if you want to see Ronaldo live and colored, I want to see Karim Benzema. I want to see all these great players, all these MLS Stars. The 2nd of August is the day they're coming to town. It's going to be 8:30 p.m. Central Time. So put that on your calendar if you don't want to miss it. And then I'll just go a little bit into the transfer rumors that's going on in the soccer world. Now, rumors has it that Mbappe, who is the star player for Monaco, it's a team in France. Now, Manchester City, United, and Real Madrid are reported to be bargaining seriously for this guy. They are bidding serious, crazy money. It's rumored to be around 150 million pounds. And this guy is only 18 years old. Okay, and they are bidding 150. And this is just for starters. It could go up 150 million pounds for an 18-year-old boy. Hey. Please, if you have a son who is not yet 30, please, or a brother, start encouraging them to start playing soccer. Okay, that's where the money is. Neymar is being rumored that he might leave Barcelona to PSG. Well, there are rumors that if Barcelona don't get Coutinho from Liverpool, then he might just leave. Neymar might just leave to PSG. Guess what? PSG is also quoting 200 million pounds, or I think euros, that is, for Neymar. So who will say no to this kind of money? The kind of money they're calling for players today, I mean, this modern day soccer is astronomical. It's just mind-blowing. But hey, look, it's the market forces that are determining the prices. So the players, if they are worth that much and the teams think they are worth that much, hey, the money is there and they're paying for them. So, hey, you might as well just, if you're a star, just go for where the money is, Well, for Chelsea fans, it's good. It's good so far. This transfer market has been good for Chelsea. We've bought three exciting players, I would say. 4, the goalkeeper, I wouldn't say, it's not that big of a news. But you've got 3 great stars. Morata just joined Chelsea from Real Madrid, so that is good. And we bought Rudiger. Rudiger is a German national defender who plays for, he used to play for, I think, Roma in the Italian league. Chelsea bought him as well. And Tiamo Bakayoko, the central midfielder for, Monaco. Again, Monaco. Chelsea has acquired his services and is currently a Chelsea player. So we should see how the midfield of Chelsea is going to look like. Bakayoko and Kante. Teams should watch out. Well, Danilo has just moved from Real Madrid to Man City. So as we speak, Danilo is no longer a Real Madrid player. He's a Manchester City player. And then rumor also has it that Benzema might be going to Arsenal. Again, we should see. Well, Kennedy, who is a young Chelsea player, has been sacked from the Chelsea camp in China because he posted a derogative statement or image about the Chinese people online, which did not go well with the Chinese government. And so that became a big issue for Chelsea. Chelsea has since apologized on 2 occasions vehemently to the Chinese authorities. But the guy himself has been sacked from the training camp in China, so he's no longer with the team. I don't know what beholds of his. I don't know what beholds of his future. So, hey, who knows? He might get a team somewhere. But that ends it for today's sports update. We will take one musical break if my producers are ready, and then when we come back, we'll go straight into our program for this evening. Stay logged on to WGHC 98.3 FM.
Somebody told me about it when I was still a little boy. He said to me, "Cry does not pay." He said to me, "Education is the key." Yeah. As a little boy, I thought I knew what was doing. Yeah, man. But today, here I am in jail. I'm a prisoner.
Hello, welcome back to the Progressive Mind Show on WGHC 98.3 FM. This is your favorite host, aka Alinko. Now, we are going to be talking to this wonderful gentleman who are already in the studio. Today, the topic is, as you have already seen on social media and from friends and maybe on through email, regardless of where you got the information, it is get your money right. That's the topic we are talking about today. And we would be discussing this topic with two outstanding gentlemen in our community in the person of Mr. Davidson Kwame Zigah. And when you call him by that, he likes to go by the full Davidson Kwame Zigah. If you miss one, he doesn't feel comfortable. How are you, my brother?
Good. How are you?
Good. And then we also have, happy to help the discussion today, Mr. Boateng Ahyiah. Did I say the last name right?
That is correct.
Ahyiah.
That is correct.
Excellent. Okay. Now, Mr. Davidson Kwame Zigah, as a lot of you in the Ghanaian community already know, but I'm sure a lot do not know him. So I'll just go over his credentials. He is an MBA student and the president of the Ghanaian Professionals of North America Association, organization. And he is a very passionate, enthusiastic, customer relations, building, management personality. He is a leader. He's very result-oriented person. He likes to plan and organize. He's a very good student, a real estate agent with Kill Realty. Mr. Davidson Zigah is also the president and founder of Green Safe Realty and Consult USA. He's also the treasurer youth organizer of the Ahyiah Association, Chicago metropolitan area.
Yo, thank you very much. Just a point of correction. I finished my MBA 2013, so I'm not in school right now.
No, I said
I'm not a student.
Oh yeah, okay. Yes, you're not. Okay. You hold an MBA degree.
Yeah, yes.
Let me put it. Yes, that was. Yeah, you hold an MBA degree, and you got it from Robert Morris University. Brilliant. Okay. And you're also the vice president of Tau Sigma Honoring Society, right? And a member of the PMI Project Management Institute. Brilliant. And also the president of the, obviously I already mentioned the Ghanaian Professionals Association. Mr. Ahyiah is a mortgage specialist with Wintrust. Wintrust Mortgage. Wintrust Mortgage needs no introduction to you folks. And he has a lot of experience. He's a very passionate individual who loves to contribute to his community. You've been doing church presentations, community presentations on how to manage your credit, and how to buy right and buy at the right time and so forth. So you've been helping build a community, and this is the kind of personalities and individuals we are looking for to help build our community together. I think it's about time we start doing that. And so you don't speak Igbe, Abi?
No, I don't.
You don't speak Igbo. Okay.
I wish I could.
You wish you could. Okay. So Zigah and I will be selling you small. Okay.
As far as I can go.
Yeah. Okay. So Mr. Boateng is a mortgage loan officer. He's a great communicator, and one thing I love about him is his the desire to seek for satisfaction for his clients. And also the desire to help build a community. Gentlemen, I've said welcome, but
thank you.
You can say it enough. I am so appreciative of your time coming around to help do this. Sometimes it's the people like to make it competition, but before we go into that, Mr. Boateng, can I see your left hand? Okay, I don't see a ring. I see a ring on Mr. Zigah's son. As for him, I know he's still enjoying fresh marriage, akla and okro, fertility, and all. So he's laughing at you. He's laughing at you in capital letters.
I'm not laughing at him.
You can tell from the way he's laughing. Small boys are young.
He's equally enjoying too.
Mr. Boateng, tell us more. Where the woman is?
Oh, I'm privileged. I'm married to a beautiful wife.
Okay.
And I have two little kids, a boy and a girl. And I think this is what life can offer me.
Wow.
I'm so grateful to God for my family.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Tell us in 30 seconds, maybe just wrap it up, summarize for us. Like, how has your American journey been like? Obviously coming here to go through school, and then obviously
interesting. I see America as a land of opportunity. As everybody know, we came here from back home to sort of seek a better life, greener pastures, and make life a little bit comfortable for ourselves. And God being so good, when we go here, we did not have to struggle that much, because if you show that you are capable of doing it, you will be given that opportunity. And this is a typical American dream, right?
Right.
I came in from Ghana to London, and then to I would say America, and here I am. I work with a very reputable bank that originate loans in 50 states. I can do business across states, which is very, very important. So
Okay.
I get to help my people
Okay.
across states.
Okay.
It is very, very
Brilliant.
interesting.
Okay. Mr. Davidson, Zigah, as for you, we know your story. But there's somebody. No, I mean, let me not say that. Let me retract. Not like we know your story, but what I want to say actually is that we've known you. You know, I've known you for some time now.
Right.
Mr. Boateng is who I'm getting to know lately.
Yeah,
And a lot of Ghanaians and obviously people in the African community know you as well because of what you do. Can you also tell us 30 seconds how your American journey has been so far and how you've gotten here? Maybe just, if you can just summarize it for us.
Yeah, I would say mine has been kind of interesting. And by the grace of God, I'm very grateful to God for who I am today and what God has given me. I think I started, my journey from Ghana, not knowing anybody that, is willing to accept me as a child or as somebody to help. Through that, I think I have some issues at the airport and through fake tickets that somebody's trying to help me with, and nearly ended up in something else. But by the grace of God, those things were sought out. Just a brief about that. I think I was at the airport for 3 days before getting another
Ghanaian airport?
Yes, before getting here. But since the first day I stepped my foot in this country, God has been opening doors for me, and things have been moving very well. I'm very grateful for my position right now in the community and what God has given to me through this struggle, little struggle. I know everybody have a story,
Struggle,
but just through this little story or struggle, that is why the need for GPNA to help one another, because I can attest to the fact that had it been that recognized organization that I called by then, having a genuine lottery visa, I wouldn't have gone through what I went through.
What you went through.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So your situation and your experience coming from Ghana to America actually motivated you to form the organization now which you lead, which is the Ghana Professionals.
Yes, the GPNA.
Yes.
There are more stories to that. In our launching, more story about GPNA will be revealed. So I urge everybody to support the organization and be there.
Okay, we'll give you some time so you can tell us more about it. What I was trying to reiterate is that what you went through, is one of the factors that gave birth to the Ghana
Ghanaian Professionals of North America.
Ghanaian Professionals of North America organization. All right, thank you. People, it seems as though lately that the purchasing of home, has become like a competition. I know you all are in the market. You help people buy homes. You try to get people to buy homes. But sometimes, by so doing, some people buy without getting the right information or buy when you're not ready. Who should buy a house? Can you give us a definition of a typical person? You say, okay, this person has everything. And what are those things that qualify someone to say, okay, now you're ready to go and buy a house?
Okay. I think buying a home is a big financial decision making.
Right.
And I, based on my experience in the market right now, I can attest to the fact that buying a home lies in 3 key factors.
Okay.
3 key factors.
Okay.
That is your credit, your income, and down payment.
Okay.
If you have these 3 key things, you'll be able to acquire a home.
Okay.
And you ask about who should buy, who shouldn't, and stuff like that. Buying a home is a a good investment that you can do, that if market crash, at least your house can stand in there as an income generating avenue for you.
Right.
And I would say people rent based on certain conditions and things like that. And I would say people can feel comfortable to rent if, one, their credit is not good, because their interest, maybe a bank might be giving them, might be more.
Right.
They don't have that much, down payment, to put down. But right now, the city, the state, and the federal government is also assisting in all those kind of aspects, of which Boateng will be elaborating on that. And also, if you feel like you are just trying to live at a certain place for 3 years or less, I mean, it's advisable to rent, because buying is a long-term investment. And if you are buying, you have to make sure that even if you want to buy and travel, then that means you can use that as what investment property for you and rent it out and stuff like that. So the 3 key factors in buying or qualifying a person is, one, credit, down payment, and income.
Down payment and income. So which means you need to have a very steady income. It's good you mentioned these 3 key things. Mr. Boateng, can I call you Mr. Boateng or Mr. Ahyiah? Or both?
Both.
Okay, both. He mentioned credit.
Yep.
Okay. A lot of times Africans have come to understand what credit is. Back from where we're coming from, there's nothing like credit. So, but here, obviously, we've all come to understand what credit is. But there are still certain people in our community who don't necessarily pay attention to it, whether intentionally or unintentionally. Tell us the importance of credit, what goes into credit, and what builds your credit.
Okay, thank you. That's a very, very broad, I would say, subject when we talk about credit. Yeah, but first of all, as you know, the normal questions that come into your mind when a brother comes to you to say that, hey, Mr. Alinko, can I borrow maybe $100 from you? What do you think about?
If someone wants to borrow $100 from me, I'm thinking about when are you going to pay me back?
So you assess some risk. The risk in him paying you or not paying you.
Right.
So equally, the banks also would want to find out how credit worthy you are to be able to secure yourself a loan from them.
Okay.
And when we talk about FICO scores, which you probably may have heard about, is the credit worthiness of a person to determine whether you can, I would say, pay your debts right on time and have the right amount of credit. So this is what credit. The FICO scores is all about managing your financial behavior, right? They monitor it and then they score us.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, what you would have to do is to make sure that, one, do I have enough credit lines open to be able to establish the credit?
Okay.
When we talk about credit lines,
there you go.
We are referring to, I would say, revolving credit. We are referring to installment credit. And we also will talk about the normal financial, I would say, services that you actually go through your banking, right? So revolving credit, some include the store cards and stuff like that. So you can have a mortgage that is part of installment. You can have auto loan that is part of installment loan, right? So you have to blend these things well to be able to get a good credit. It has been established that 35% of our payment history, right, determines how our credit, is going to get better.
Okay. So right. 35% of your payment history.
Yeah. So paying on time. If you have a credit and you pay right on time, every month you use whatever amount you have to, and then you pay right on time. You don't let the time. You are not late. Do it. Having that behavior alone constitutes 35%.
Great. Okay.
So it is very, very important for all of us to know that.
Okay. Okay. You mentioned that. Okay, go ahead. You wanted to finish.
Right. Secondly, I would say we have the amounts that we owe on our credit. The amounts that we owe on our credit should not exceed, I would say, 30% of the credit limit.
Break it down.
Let's say you have a credit facility or a credit limit of, let's say, $1,000.
Let's say you have Capital One credit card, $1,000.
$1,000. All I will say to you is that should you buy something worth, let's say, $700, you have exceeded, I will say, 30% of the credit limit of $1,000. So try and bring the balances below 30% right after. So in this case, if you divide 1,000 by 3, you're looking at somewhere around 300 and
330, 320.
Right. So you have to pay the balance. I mean, if it's 700, let's say you bought a television for 700, try and bring it back to somewhere around 300 or below.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So that is that. If you do this, you are sort of going to also add 30% to building your credit.
Oh.
Right. Then we have 15%. 15% is the credit history. The length of time you have actually had that account open.
Okay.
Right. More often than not, you hear a lot of our sisters and brothers saying that, hey, I owe this much on my credit, and after some time I call them, I don't want to pay, I don't want to use the card again. I would use this medium to advise our brothers and sisters out there to just desist from doing that. It is not, I would say, financially healthy, or it doesn't help your credit.
Okay.
Right. Okay. If for any reason you don't want to use any card, just pay it off. If you pay it off and you do not use the card, the inactivity that is shown,
right?
The banks themselves will call you and say, "Hey, Boat, after looking at your card, you don't create any activity on there." So we would suspend it by a certain time if you don't use it. Okay. So if you don't want to use it, they let it be their call, but you don't have to call them and say, "Hey, I'm not interested in using your card." When you do that, you send in a negative wave through your financial records, and for that matter, you take a hit to your credit.
So a typical example, like you said, I have $1,000 credit max on my Capital One credit card. I see something and I buy, say, I use 600 of it.
Yes.
You were saying that before the month ends, I'll make the purchase this month. Before my next billing cycle,
right,
which is when my bill is due, I have to make sure that instead of having 600 balance on my account, on my card, and paying only the minimum balance of maybe $25 on my due date, I should pay like 400 out of the 600 that I used, so that it brings my balance on the credit card to like 200 below 300. Below 300.
Anything below 300, you are safe.
Good. Because the reason why I want to emphasize this is that, a lot of us, a lot of folks in our community, me your credit card, me your Chase credit card, me your Macy's. I have Macy's. I have where again?
PNC,
all those credit cards, right? And they just swipe because you have 5,000 or you have 3,000 max limit. People can swipe until it gets like 2,000 or like 90% of the card, and they keep paying monthly
the minimum payment,
yes, thinking that the minimum payment is helping them build their credit.
No,
it's a false
perception. I would say it's a false perception because you can max it out, you can use it, but you should have that intention, or you should be able to bring the balances as soon as possible to 30% or below.
If it's as soon as possible, what's the time range like within?
Well, I would say within reasonable time. Because everybody, we do not know when they report on our credit files.
Okay.
So most of the time, I tell my clients, in case you are out of cash, do so within, let's say, 2-3 months. Bring it back into reasonable levels,
right?
So you can actually see the benefit of your credit scores, because we all need our credit.
Okay.
Yeah. To add to that, thank you both for the intensive explanation on the credit. I just want to add to what you said. I think knowing when to pay, right? Pay of your balance or whatever it is. Normally, I've been counseling a lot of people for credit repair and stuff like that. Normally, call your creditor. Find out from them when they report.
So if
they are reporting on the 15th, make sure you pay by 10th before they report.
Okay.
And after they report, you can use your money. Leave 5 days, and after that you can use it. But always make sure you pay off by the 10th if they report on the 15th. Every creditor have their own reporting cycle. Right. So you have to call your creditor and find out when they report. Another thing I want to add is that
before you continue, if you have 3 credit cards, you call all of them.
Yes.
And make sure you know when they report.
They report to
and
the credit
put
bureau.
It in your calendar.
Exactly.
And you are not just making the minimum payments, but you are making payment which will bring your balance to below 30%.
30%. You have to be below 30% before the report.
Got you.
Exactly.
Got you.
So in addition to that, I think credits and FICO score and stuff like that. I mean, we just have to continue educating ourselves,
right?
And, continuously, because the ignorance out there is huge. Even myself, the way I understand it before, now I'm in the business. You give me more, exposure and understanding than before. But what I say is that a lot of us, when we have debt, right, we try to run away from the debt. That is not the best way, because even this country is built on debt. That is the reason why I say that is if you don't have credit, you cannot do any major thing in this country. That means they want everybody to be in debt. The country is built on debt. So don't run away from debt. I had a couple of clients and they said, they have their a debt, on their credit for 5 years. How much? It's $1,000 and stuff like that, and they cannot pay everything up. Please just take a phone, call this creditor, negotiate with them. You are more likely, for them to, reduce the price for you to pay, because you can call them and say, it's been 5 years. You don't want this on your credit. You really want to take care of this. You are a responsible person. You want to pay this. In the past, this is what happened, but right now I want to clear it off. But I don't have the $1,000.
Right.
I can pay only $500. They will say, okay. They will come back and give you a counter offer or approve it.
Okay.
The reason is that debt 5 years ago has been written off as a bad debt in their company. It's written off already as a loss. So if that is why there is this company, there's a debt collectors. You know what they do? Because if you write off as a loss, right? I owe you $1,000, and at the end of the year you are doing business, you write it off as a debt and a loss. To taxes and stuff like that.
Yes.
Now that money, you claim it back in taxes anyway.
Right.
So now these debt collectors will now come to you to buy this debt, this bad debt. They'll buy it from you for maybe $500, $1,000. They'll buy it for $500 because their job is to attack me for the money.
Right.
So if they are attacking me, I can contest and say, no, I don't have that much money. $500, I can give you $600. If they know they are making $100, sometimes they'll take it. Okay. So if we have debt, we should not run away from it. We should find our way to reduce the debt and find the best way possible to clear it off. That will improve our credit.
Wow. So you wanted to add something to it, Mr.
Yeah, I just wanted to end where I took off by saying that new credit. A lot of times people feel that, okay, hey, I'll go into a shop and I want to buy something. The more I open credit lines is going to help me. But we are not making a good decision for ourselves if we tend to do that within, I would say, every shop that we go over a long period, because in the end, what is happening is a lot of inquiries on your credit.
On your credit.
Yeah. My sisters, my moms out there who are fond of shopping a lot, they tend to get into some of these, I would say, situations. They go to Macy's, they say, hey, buy stuff, let's say $20 or $30 more, and we will give you $5 credit.
Right.
If you open an account with us, we will give you $30 voucher and stuff like that. These are things to entice you to open these credit, and people end up having a lot of inquiries on their credit, which in effect would lower their credit scores.
So you are not only saying that having many credit cards and not paying on time, or maxing out your credit and then paying only monthly dues, affect your credit. But what also hurts your credit is anytime you go to Randstad, what's it called? Departmental stores, Macy's, and all these Kohl's and Marshalls, and they entice you with these coupons and cards and all these things.
Yep.
If you anytime you sign up for it, they are making inquiries on your credit score.
Yes.
Which and just making inquiries affects your credit.
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
I know there's a lot of information out there. Our producer is ready, and we'll be going for one musical break. When we come back, listeners, we will continue with the hot topic here, which is get your money right. We're speaking with Mr. Davidson Kwame Zigah. He's a realtor with Kale, and Mr. Boateng Ahyiah, also a mortgage financing loan officer with Wintrust. We shall be right back to continue the conversation.
What I feel in my heart is true. What you see in my eyes is your proof. Totally, baby, I'm ready for you. In the head of my heart and body, baby girl, I wanna dance for you, yeah. I wanna dance for you, baby. And I know you're gonna dance on me, yeah. Dance on me, baby. See, your love is very strong, oh. It's very strong, oh. You're very strong, oh. It's very strong, oh. Diana, oh, Diana, oh. I wanna take you away. Diana, oh, my baby, oh. Yeah, me and you go forever. Diana, oh, my love, oh. Diana, I wanna take you away. Diana, oh, Diana, oh, Diana, baby girl, your body bounce. Whenever you come around, oh. From my heart you win the crown. We can never let you down. Make the fire catapult, oh. Baby, don't take me to court, oh. So we don't care, baby girl, I'm ready, oh. Baby girl, I'm ready, oh. I say I must to run your race, oh. Yeah, dance to your drum and bass, oh. Yeah, my love is up to date, oh. Yeah, girl, I wanna dance for you, yeah. I wanna dance for you, baby. And I know you're gonna dance on me, yeah. Dance on me, yeah. See, my love is very strong, oh. Yeah, very strong, oh. You're very strong, oh. It's very strong, oh. Diana, oh, Diana, oh. I wanna take you away. Diana, oh, my baby, oh. Yeah, me and you go forever. Diana, oh, my love, oh. Diana, I wanna take you away. Diana, oh, Diana, oh. I sing for Diana, oh, yeah. I curse for Diana, oh, yeah. I dance for Diana, yeah. My love, my Diana, yeah. Diana, let me curse, yeah. Diana, give me life, yeah. Diana, give me joy, Diana, my woman, my everything. I say I must to run your race, oh, yeah. Dance to your drum and bass, oh, yeah. My love is up to date, oh, yeah. Girl, I wanna dance for you, yeah. I wanna dance for you, baby. And I know you're gonna dance on me, yeah. Dance on me, baby. See, your love is very strong, oh. Yeah, very strong, oh. You're very strong, oh. It's very strong, oh. Diana, oh, Diana, oh. I wanna take you away. Diana, oh, my baby, oh. Yeah, me and you go forever. Diana, oh, my love, oh. Diana, I wanna take you away. Diana, oh.
Hello, lovely listeners. You're welcome back to the Progressive Mind Show right here at WGHC 98.3 FM. Your voice, your music, your station. If you are right here in the area, in the uptown area, you can just tune into 98.3 FM, downtown, Everstein, or our areas, the areas that we reach at the moment. If you're not in within, what you have to do is download the TuneIn app if you don't already have it, and search for WGHC. If you are an Android user, download WGHC and search for download TuneIn app, and search for WGHC 98.3 FM. If you're an iPhone user, it's easy. Just go into your app store and download WGHC. The apps are free, so if by chance or by accident any of the phones wants you to purchase or anything of the sort, please ignore it, because the apps are free. Alternatively, you can listen to this show live on WGHC98.3fm.org. WGHCFM.org, actually, WGHCFM.org. There's also another website, which is legendtvonline.org. That's an old website, but it's still functional in terms of listening to the show. You can go to our Facebook page and make your contributions to us, your donations to this wonderful radio station, which has come for the African community, the Afro and Caribbean community as well. And so your donations and contributions are tax deductible. Okay, so do not be hesitant in helping to do what you're supposed to be doing, which is helping build this community, helping to build this radio station to lift our society up. Last week Saturday, was it? Producer, it was last week Saturday that we had the African Cup of Nations, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, just this past Saturday. It was a wonderful event. There were 5 African. This is the first ever African Cup of Nations being held here in Chicago. Great. I think in the entire Midwest. It's never happened before, and it's going to be an annual event every year. This year, the turnout was awesome. Like he's attesting to everybody else that came, and the people who did not come, giving us wonderful feedback that it was a great event. Yes, we had 1 or 2 skirmishes here and there, as you may expect with big events like that. But we thank God it wasn't too catastrophic. Whatever happened is being taken care of, and we are working hard to sort out issues that may have marred the event a little bit. And next year, like we said, it's going to be bigger. And so we are asking the community to help us in terms of financing, because that's one of our difficulties right now. There's so many things that we need to do, and we want to also upgrade our programs and our equipment. Obviously, pay token, monies to people who come here to help us, but we are not able to do so. Even the bandwidth, we want to go 20 miles. We are only 8x8. We want to go 20 miles and reach the suburbs. But it's so difficult to do some of the things that we need to do. So we are craving for your support. Please go to WGHCFM.org and make your donations. Or go to Facebook, and there's a GoFundMe link. You can make donations to the WGHC unit. The number to ring in for this evening is 773-942-7167. 773-942-7167. Now, I also want to remind our listeners that come Saturday, the 29th, this Saturday, Ghana is organizing our old traditional fest, which is Ghana Fest. This year's, the aura is different. I am feeling this fresh air of unity and progress and positivity. I think the current president, Pakwesi Sam, is doing a wonderful job. We haven't spoken a lot about what his plans are, but you can tell that his management skills, his leadership skills is really galvanizing the community, not just the Ghanaian community, but the African community. And I know this Ghana Fest is going to be wonderful. It's going to be different. And so invite your friends and tell people to come and see the beautiful culture of Ghana and meet friends and interact and eat food and get to see a lot of African artifacts. Okay. All right. We'll go straight into our program for this evening, which is Get Your Money Right. Why shouldn't you get your money right? You work hard for it anyway, unless you're a philanthropist and you just want to give it away. But as I know it, the 99% of us are not philanthropists, so you might as well just get it right. And you don't have to search far. We have gentlemen in our community who have been doing it already. They've been doing it in their own way, and we are here today to help get your money right. Your money and my money. You're here to help us do that. And it's in regards to home acquisition, mortgage financing, and credit management. They've been discussing and breaking it down as to what your credit management should look like. What you should do to get a good credit, what you shouldn't do to hurt your credit. And so we'll go directly into the conversation again and see how best we can be able to divulge this conversation. If somebody gets their credit right, they go through all these processes that you guys have been teaching us, don't get too many credit cards. When you get them, pay them on time, pay the, all that. So the credit aspect is good. And then there's this community pressure or family pressure. Oh, buy a home, buy a house. Everybody's buying. Okay, because my credit card is good or my credit score is good, can I just go and buy a house because everybody's buying?
Not really, because as I stated earlier on, home buying is not just about the credit. It's credit, income, and down payment. That's one. But before that, you yourself have to make a decision that you are ready to buy. Okay. Because buying a home is not just the first initial transaction, but it comes with some responsibility. Okay. You have to maintain your home, and you have some other things to take care of and stuff like that. Okay. So I don't think there should be a pressure on you to buy, but you have to know what you are investing in. Okay. That is why we, the professionals, are out there to talk to. And what I do is, like for instance, one of our colleague called me last time trying to buy a condo, right? And, listening to his needs and what he really wants. That is what I do. I take my time and listen to your need and everything. Then I will bring my suggestions based on what is going on in the market and what will be best for you, how you can get the best for your money. Because, I'm a business student. I have an MBA, so my best concern or my number one priority is to make sure that you protect your investment and your investment is yielding you profit. Okay. So I talked to him. I said, okay, you want to buy condo, you have this credit, you get approved for this. If you can get approved for this amount of money, then it's advisable. Buying a condo, Brownsville and stuff like that is good, but it's advisable if you got two flat. You live in one and rent one. The other one can, bring you an income. Okay. So this is, how we do, that is why you have to talk to the professionals. Okay. Don't just take the family pressure and say, because my mom wants me to do it and stuff like that. You have to make a decision, because buying a home is one of the biggest investment decisions that we make.
Okay. You wanted to chime in?
Yeah, I just I find it a little bit interesting. Even though you may have some pressure from maybe extended family or
friends,
like friends to go into the fact is, can you afford to be there? Right. The fact that people are giving you pressure doesn't mean you can actually buy a house. You would have to sort of get yourself checked first to make sure. Ask yourself, am I in a stable employment?
Income.
Yeah. If you are in a stable employment, have you been working for more than 2 years? If you have been working for more than 2 years, then of course we can actually get you pre-approved. Right. But if you have not been working, what were you doing before the 2 years? Were you in school? Because if you've just come out of school, we potentially can. A typical example would be you were in college for a nursing degree. You just came out. All you need to do is work a month and establish some pay stubs. Get some pay stubs. Okay. And we should be able to go back and say, hey, this person has been in school studying. He's just come out. He started work, and we can get you pre-approved. So people out there should not get it twisted. The fact that you are working doesn't mean you can qualify.
You can qualify,
right? Because you need to establish employment for more than 2 years.
Right.
Yeah. If you are coming in and you've been working and you don't, if you are less than 2 years and you cannot prove what you've been doing, you would have to sort of serve your time do the 2 years before we can actually look into your income. That aside, I mean, there are a little bit of, I would say, it involves you being committed, because unlike rent where you can run away, mortgage, you are in it for 30 years or 15 years, depending on, I mean, the number of years you go for, right? If you want to be in it for 15 years, you can be 20 years, you can be rent, you can just walk out at the end of the year or break the lease, right? But all of this boils down to your credit. And that is what we've been sort of breaking it down till now. The last thing I wanted to bring in here are the type of credit that are used, right, to build credit. If you, the last point I made was new credit. We should not be having a lot of opening new accounts, because that leads to a lot of inquiries. The Consumer Credit Bureau allows everybody to shop around for the best rates. That notwithstanding, you can only do so within a space of 30 days. If you go beyond 30 days, you start taking a hit to your credit. So people should make note of that. You may sometimes pull credit and you see that the person has been busy for almost 3-4 months consistently. Right. Sometimes I say to my folks that it's not fun. If you would do something on your credit, make sure within that 30 days you do it.
Okay.
So that you don't get hit. You don't get hit to your credit. But if every month you will be out there shopping, if you be out there opening new accounts, then if you started off with let's say 700, you eventually might get somewhere around 500. The minimum, I mean, credit score for you to be able to do a mortgage is typically 620. My company.
Good information.
Right.
620 with Wintrust.
620 with Wintrust. A lot of people, I mean, a lot of companies, I'm not going to mention names here, are sort of looking at 640 and upwards. We are as low as 620.
Okay.
Right. We may not be the lowest, but it's reasonable. 620 is reasonable. So we can do an application for you from 620. So anybody out there who is looking to buy a house right now, I would say give us a call. We should be able to help you if you know your credit is somewhere around that level. 620. Even though it might not be there, we still will be able to advise you. And with you paying some debts here and there, you probably can get your credit scores, I mean, pushed up a little bit. And then I recently helped somebody who did not have a credit, who was able to beef up his credit within a space of 3 months.
3 months.
And we were able to do an application for him. So people out there listening to us should make note of that. I don't normally want to take that task of repairing credit and stuff like that. That's not basically what I do. That's not
your profession.
But I still can help you.
Okay.
I still can help you. I do the financing, whereas Mr. Zigah would actually show you
the place.
So
and we are going to go into that. The other half is going to be purely you. But I wanted to set our listeners off with the foundation first of all. So you know what you're going to. Please hold on that thought for a second. Just want to give a shout out to our listeners. Gamali, the Kai, wifey, you're watching. Big ups to you. Simon, Kwekukume, Simon. Hey, Simon, Almighty Simon from my church. Hey, how are you, bro? Jihad, JT is watching. Big ups to you, JT. Olivia Kamanzi. Big ups to you. I listened to your show tonight. You and Ben's show, the Crossview Africa show. It was wonderful. Keep it up, Olivier Kamanzi, president of the African Chamber of Commerce. Wonderful guy. Karen Wallace, you are watching. God bless your heart. Enoch Edu Darko, you are also watching us. God bless your heart. Linda Okansi, she said, lesson well learned. So obviously, you are teaching people. People are learning from what you are discussing here with us. Go Green. What's up, Go Green? That's one of our favorite funds, the Progressive Minds funds. Akofa, you're also watching. Akofa, I miss you, but God bless you. And Vanessa, Jessica, and Kelvin, I miss you all. God bless you. God bless you. Okay, Mr. Zigah, please go ahead.
Yes. I just want to add, some few more points to this credit building. I would say, somebody just called me not quite a long time ago, saying that, okay, she have been paying rent on time and every month before the month end and stuff like that, but her credit is not going up. I was like, who tell you paying rent is going to increase your credit?
Oh, okay.
So,
that's a good one.
So what I want to say is that whatever we are doing, whether getting credit card or opening store account, we have to make sure that these people report to the credit bureau. If they don't report to the credit bureau, it's not going to have any effect on your credit. But bet me, if you default, if they know that you default, they can find a way to hurt you.
Okay.
But if you're doing the good, keeping it everything good and stuff like that, because they are not obliged to report, they're not going to report. So we should find out from our creditors to make sure that they truly report to the credit bureau. That is very important. So the fact that you say you are paying rent every month to your landlord on time, that doesn't necessarily mean that your credit is going to go up.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I wanted to ask you, what should make anybody want to do business with Mr. Davidson Zigah, who's a realtor, right? You take people to their homes. You take people to you look for homes and apartment for people to buy. After they have worked on your credit, after they've done their due diligence, after they've taken their time to save enough, because there's a need to make a down payment. My advice, or what I think is good, and I would like maybe you guys to touch on that, is before you even plan on buying, I think it would be prudent for you to have like 3 months savings. Like after your savings, right? Not savings, mortgage payment. If you can save before you break, after your down payment, if you can also have some money down for your mortgage, like a 3 month or 2 month mortgage down after you've made your down payment,
in the mortgage sorry for interrupting you. In the mortgage circles, we call it reserves.
Go into it for me some more, I beg.
Yes. So normally it's not a requirement. It is not a requirement unless you are sort of buying what we call the jumbo loans and stuff like that.
I'm talking about good practice for people so that they can have a safety net, so that they can be secured before going into, because like you are saying, buying a home is a very huge financial decision and responsibility.
Yes.
The maintenance of it and the need to have, because we know people in our community who have bought homes and who are right now in tantrums, like they're going through hard times and they are wondering, should I sell it, should I so what we are saying is that have a good safety net, the good practices, because you all do that.
Okay,
you, apart from selling homes, you also teach people
exactly
to be cautious.
Yes.
And you look after that's why we are here, that's why we are talking, because you've been campaigning and go to church and telling people, look after yourself. Even though we want to sell you the homes and make money, we also want to advise you to be careful, right? You guys are doing that already. That's
if I would just say something quickly before my brother here interjects. A lot of things have gone on in the past. Now, if you look at the rate at which homes are being foreclosed, it is lesser than way before the financial bubble.
Okay.
Right.
You have some numbers for us?
I do not have the numbers, but
we'll get
it. I can tell you for a fact that now the industry is heavily regulated.
Okay.
There are certain things that you have happened that in the past, today it cannot happen again.
Okay.
Because of these laws that have been enacted.
Stringent laws.
Yes, stringent. And that is what I mean by the industry is heavily regulated. Yes, it's not as before. So the chances of somebody foreclosing on a home right now is less, very, very small. Because now we do what we call ability to repay. It should be part of the process. So you are not going to be given a home or a mortgage more than you can afford.
Okay.
So we kind of base our qualification on your income and we look into your liabilities.
Right.
Right. So if you have too much liabilities, the chances for you to borrow more will be reduced.
So it will prevent you from getting something that you cannot afford in the future.
Right. Back in the days, people could go at the back of the truck, manufacture some documents, fictitious things, and then pay stubs. They would just put everything in. Now you cannot do that.
And basically what you're saying is that if you want to be reckless, the system has been scrutinized in such a way that the system will not allow you to be reckless.
Correct.
Right.
The chances for you to do that is, it's very, very slim.
The chance for you to hurt yourself is very slim.
Yes.
So the system is looking after you.
That's right.
Because the system wants to prevent what happened in 2008, 2009,
correct,
when people lost their homes and lost their investments in real estate.
That is correct.
Brilliant. You get, again, go ahead.
Yeah, so let me come back to your original question. That people should have cushion before they buy, you know, reserve, we call it, and stuff like that. I think it's very necessary.
Okay.
Because, bet me, more houses on the market out there, they are not finished.
They're not furnished houses?
They are not finished. Okay. Like the sellers don't put bed and couches, and not all of them. Right. You can find a few, but most of them, they are not finished. And if you are moving from one studio apartment to 3-bedroom, you have to know that you have to have extra money to finish it.
Gotcha.
So that one is you yourself making the calculation, knowing that this is what I need, this is what I can afford. That doesn't necessarily mean that if you don't have $10,000 in your account, you shouldn't buy. No, because sometimes some people are paying $1,500 in rent, and they're loving it. They're paying it on time. You can buy and save $500 monthly.
Okay.
With the same size of unit that you are renting.
Okay.
So it depends. That is why I always advise that. And my thing is not, okay, you want to buy a house, let's go and look for it. No. I will sit down with you, have time with you, listen to you, see your needs, and make recommendations. Right. Because my number one goal is for you to have the best for your investment.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, lovely people, we have been talking to Mr. Davidson Kwame Zigah, the president of the Ghanaian Professionals North America. And then Mr. Boateng Ahyiah is also a mortgage loan officer with Win Trust. They have been helping to discuss the issue at stake, which is get your money right. Home financing, mortgage and credit management. They've been doing an excellent job here. When we want to take one short musical break. When we come back, we would like them to tell us why you all, and everybody should use their services than somebody else. Stay tuned to WGH 98.3 FM. This is the Progressive Mind Show with your favorite host, Senna. We shall be right back.
You say you want me up to the baseline. You tell me say don't wanna waste time. You say them other girls have to stand in line. You tell me say they gon' watch how we slow wine. Oh, you say you want to take control. Yeah, you say you want to take control. The way she they do me, you're better. Control. See the way they roll it to feather. Control. See my baby want to take cause inflation for the nation. You say you want me up to the baseline. You tell me say don't wanna waste time. You say them other girls have to stand in line. You tell me say they gon' watch how we slow wine. Oh, you say you want to take control. Yeah, you say you want to take control. The way she they do me, you're better. Control. See the way they roll it to feather. Control. See my baby want to take control now. Chale, she know she the baddest. 10 over 10, she know it. I don't know how she they manage. The African thing, she they roll it. fine face like Genevieve. Anything you want, I go be. I be right here, I don't leave. All my love, girl, me, I'm African, face like Tiwa. She want give me down, back like Rihanna. Cherry bush, rotate, he like a child. She dey make man stand ovation. Back I don't cause inflation for the nation. You say you want mail up to the next time. You tell me say no, I waste time. You say the mother girls if you stand in line. You tell me say they go watch how we slow wine. Oh, you say you want take control. Yeah, you say you want take control. The way she dey do me, your beg back, control. See the way you dey roll it, to beg back, control. See my baby want to take control now. Shake it, all my African girls give me wine now. Shake it, all my London girls give me wine now. Shake it, my Caribbean girls give me wine now. Shake it, my girls all around give me wine now.
Welcome back to the Progressive Mind Show right here at WGHC 98.3 FM. This is your voice, your music, your station. It is your voice because this is a time for us to build our community, and you would find no other program in Chicago that deals with issues that pertains to our community than the Progressive Minds Show. Here is where we talk about the things that concerns us, the thing that concerns your brother, your sister, your uncle, family. This is family stuff. Gradually, family by family, neighbor by neighbor, we can build our community, and nobody can do it but for us. And so this is a time for us to start contributing and start joining the conversation while we do this. And we are part of that is why we are discussing Get Your Money Right regarding home financing, mortgage, and credit management. This is what we deal with every day. This is what is hurting us sometimes. This is what is putting us in distress and additional stress, to what we already going through. So we need to learn. Let's learn from each other. Let's contribute and make this show and make our community a better one. Before we went on our break, you guys were telling us about ways in which the precautions you have to take when you're buying a home and so forth. And I would like to go a little bit deeper into the conversation regarding what you do. You've talked briefly about what you do. Mr. Ahyiah, I'll start from you. Specifically, we know you work with Wintrust. What do you do at Wintrust? And how can you help our community or help people in our community or help everybody else to buy a home soundly? Please tell us, specifically.
Thank you, Mr. Alinko. Yeah, so as you rightly said, I do work for a company called Wintrust Mortgage. Wintrust Mortgage is part of Wintrust Financial Corporation. Mm-hmm. Also, it's a multi-billion dollar financial holding services. Okay. And they're part of Barrington Bank and Trust. Mm-hmm. So basically, if you go into every community, mm-hmm. you would find, I would say, Wintrust over there. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Right? Yeah, so if you are that's in let's say Naperville Bank and Trust. Okay. If you are in Schaumburg Bank and Trust. If you are in Plainfield, you find our branch over there. Okay. So we are in every community. Okay. Unlike Chase, we identify ourselves with the community. Okay. Yeah. So everywhere you have Wintrust, and the one good thing about Wintrust is that we originate loans in all 50 states. Okay. So no matter where you are, if you have family, if you have friends living in out of states, mm-hmm. I still can help them. Oh, okay. Right. So we are not limited to just Illinois. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. We do. Yeah, of course. We are a very big company. Okay. We originate loans across states. Okay. One other thing that I would like to say that the fact that we originate loans in all 50 states, mm-hmm. we are able to do volumes. Okay. And if we do volumes too, mm-hmm. then of course we are able to offer competitive rates. Okay. Right. I have been in this industry for a long to know that right now, some of the banks that we think they are big banks, they will be saving us a lot of money. Indeed, they are not saving us money.
Okay.
So if you are fortunate to work with me, you save yourself the hassle of hopping from one company to the other to sort of look for the lowest rates.
Okay.
In all these situations, your credit gets pulled.
So when they come to see you, you would scout all the cheapest rates?
That is correct.
Okay.
So I'm saving you a lot of trouble walking from Bank A to Bank B to Bank C to get yourself pre-approved. I get you pre-approved, and I can give you access to so many lenders.
Oh.
So that is one advantage of you getting to work with me.
Okay.
I'm fortunate to have a very solid bank behind me.
Right.
Wintrust is so big. I know everybody within the corporate office. If I have to follow up on your application, I can call the processor. I can call, I would say, the underwriter. I can call the closing department. So I can follow up. Unlike some other brokers that you can work or you may work with, once they get the application and they bring it to me, they cannot know the status of your application until whenever it's done.
I can attest to what you're saying, because I've had the experience where, or I know somebody who has experience where, after they got in touch with the loan officer, the mortgage officer, I mean, they have to go through like 3 or 4 people, and they ended up sending their, when you're buying, they have you send all the sensitive information.
Yes, your
and
pay stubs, your bank statements,
and this person had to send like 3 or 4 times because the first person was not available to get hold of, to follow up. So, and all that. So he ended up going through a whole bunch of people, within the same bank.
Yes.
So, but what you were saying is that you are one-stop shop.
Absolutely.
So when somebody contacts you, you first of all coach them and guide them, walk them through their credit and their, affordability rates, and get them all the cheap rates out there.
Yes.
And then all after that, when they apply, you do the application for them and you follow through with them.
Yes.
Brilliant.
So right from A, when I start with you, I get to finish. And I always set up a team at the beginning of the transaction.
Oh, okay.
So I give updates every Monday or Tuesday, depending on when I think it's okay for me to do that.
Right.
I will be giving updates. So under no circumstance would a client call me and say, "Hey, can you give me an update on the status of my application?" It doesn't happen when you get to work with Wintrust Mortgage. Right. Here is the case. Wintrust has actually set up a system where you, the applicant, can also track your application online.
Okay.
So you are notified at any stage in the process.
Right.
So if it moves from processing, you are notified by a ping, your email. If it moves from processing to underwriting, you are notified. So it is fun to be part of the process.
Right.
You are not kept outside the box. This is one thing you don't get when you get to work with other institutions. I would say we do all, programs. We do conventional, we do FHA, we do VA, and we have unique portfolio programs.
Okay.
For instance, if there are any doctors or any PhD holders out there, we do have a portfolio program that accommodates their needs, because most likely people that have attained PhD, they have also absorbed or they have piled on a lot of student loans. And what these programs are doing is to just take care of their student loans, so they can actually borrow a little bit more, right? And not be as cumbersome as maybe you and I would also go through. So that is something worth mentioning. We also have a non-warrantable condo department.
Hey, one non-warrantable condo
department.
I beg, break it down for us.
What this means is that there are. I'll make it easier for you. If, let's say, this property, let's say Cook County decides to take a slice of this property, as road extension, we cannot deliver this transaction through Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac loan.
You cannot.
We cannot.
Okay.
And most of these houses we buy, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they actually underwrite most of the loans.
Okay.
Right. We use their guidelines.
Okay.
And per their guidelines, we cannot do that. So the condo becomes non-warrantable. There is a litigation due to litigation on it.
Okay.
And not every lender can do that kind of deal. But we can do it. We have a special condo department that handles these. So Wintrust is one of the few banks within the country that gets to do some of these things, unique programs that others do not. So with me, I would say it is fun to sort of you can explore a lot of programs when you are with Wintrust.
Right.
So if there are people out there, jumbo loans are not exclusive. We do them.
We'll come back to you. We'll come back to you so you can give us, because there's a lot in there. It's a lot in there.
Absolutely.
You have a lot of rich information. Mr. Zigah, Mr. Davidson, Kwame Zigah.
Exactly.
In fact, when I say the full name, it's like I'm eating a planet.
That is my name.
Before we go ahead, hey, some folks have joined us and they are hitting us up live on Facebook. Maxwell Intiamwa, God bless your heart. You are watching us. He says, keep it up, bro. Thank you so much. Selassie Elliot Amekuji. Yes, man. The Bassa man. The only Bassa fan in the whole world. My brother, how you doing now? I beg, link me up. I used to be Bassa man.
Yeah.
You get one Bassa man. This man, he eats Bassa. Selassie, I beg you. Everybody knows it. And there's Boateng Kese. God bless your heart. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So why should people work with him?
Why should people work with
Exactly.
him? I love you. I love you. So you have a good personality. You are a nice person.
There you go.
So
yeah.
That alone should get people work with.
Yeah. Again, I'm a real estate broker.
Right.
My education, being a business student for the MBA, understand more about investment.
Oh, okay.
So I take buying home as an investment for my clients. That is why I take my time to listen to their needs and try to look at what is the current situation in the market and what we can do to maximize my client's investment. Whether you are going to be living in it or not, or you're going to host it as investment property, I take my time to listen to their needs. Also, I give a free market analysis. What this means is that you can call me, even, my number is 773403573. Anytime after the program, just give me a call. You want to know what is happening in your neighborhood.
At midnight.
Anytime.
At midnight.
Anytime. Hey! So long as I pick up the call, that's because sometimes I'll be so tired when I sleep, I don't hear my phone ringing.
Sometimes to Wi-Fi time. Wi-Fi time there, you can't go.
I mean,
I beg you, Wi-Fi time.
I say, anytime, give me a call.
Anytime, okay.
Give me a call, and I'll be able to assist you with your question.
Okay.
Whatever is happening in your area, your county, your state, I'll be able. Last time somebody called me from how do we call it? Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Trying to know one of the things, what is going on over there. If I am not able to give information about Georgia, I belong to a global network.
Okay.
Which is Kel Realty.
Kel Realty.
We have over 500 agents out there from every part of the world.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter the language wise. I can be able to link you to somebody. Okay. Me myself, I'm bilingual. I speak a couple of languages.
Oh, I bet
so that is good.
Bilingual. Okay.
Yeah, let's get into that. Because I'm from country that we speak a couple of languages.
Yes,
that is good.
We speak.
Yeah.
We speak Chi.
Yeah.
We speak Aigbe. Now, international language.
French. A little bit French. Yes. I speak French.
So comment ça va?
Bien. And also, I have a wonderful assistant who is completely and thoroughly francophone.
Okay.
So we work together. We have people even in French,
Okay.
So you have no reason not to call. Just call me. We'll be able to help you. I work. I do residentials and commercial properties.
Okay.
I do residential and commercial property. I work with buyers, sellers, investors, and also those who want to, kind of rent. I help people to rent too.
Okay.
But Besides that, I also deliver a supreme market intelligence. As I was saying before, I go into the market, know what is going on, and I will advise you based on that. I am always committed to my clients. Okay, you talk about appointment, when we should be there and stuff like that. I'll make sure I'm committed to you till you get your key to your dream home. That is what I do. I work with team of top performers. My real estate education, I took my class at Century 21, which is one of the biggest
Century 21,
real estate brokerage in Chicago or in the country. In the country.
Yeah.
So I still have top performers that are my mentor and stuff like that, in addition to K Realty, which has been in the business since 1951. You can imagine the amount of experience behind me. So I've been going to a global market that give me an edge to the market. So as I said, K Realty, the company that I work for the 6 consecutive years has been top places to work with. Rated, one of the top workplaces to work at, and also rated A+ with the Better Business Bureau. As I said, it's been a business since 1951. Besides that, if you call me, I just don't focus on Zillow or Trulia. Okay, I use our database, which is the multiple listing system, multiple MLS we call it. Multiple listing system. And besides that, this system has given us, and also the company I work with, has given me the access to over 800 different websites. So just imagine, some people will say, okay, I want to buy a place, but they are on Zillow, Trulia. There are a lot of sites out there that you haven't even heard of. There are a lot of them. That is why you have to come.
It gives you many options.
Many options. As it is right now, as it is right now, it's seller's market. What do I mean by seller's market? There are few houses out there compared to how many people are looking for homes.
Oh, really?
So if you don't call the right agent, they will just focus on one angle looking, So that is why we say, oh, they are looking, they are not getting what. But my company and me, what I do is I get and use all the system that we have there, over 800 system. That is what we have. So now, selling a house.
Yeah,
okay.
We'll come to it. I just wanted to give a shout out to one of our listeners who has been on here for a long time. Dumb Brain Capri Ford. He says, well, informative. Thanks, guys. Keep the good works. We just wanted to give you a shout out. We say, God bless you. Keep up the good work. Alexander Ofosu, God bless your heart for joining the conversation. G Ama Ampofo Ose Entry. She is saying, keep it up, my brother. Wow. Go Green, you are still here with us. Akofa is still here. Linda Okanse, Ernest is still here. Maxwell Ntiamwa, Selassie, Onukpa, Lion himself. All right. Our gentlemen here have been talking to us regarding getting your money right, okay? Putting it in the right place at the right time. And just like our last speaker, Mr. Davidson, Kwame Zigah, just said, there are many options out there, but most of the time you're only exposed to 2, just a few. But there are, and if you get the right people, they can lead you to the right places. So you can get good value for your dollar. Charlie, with the struggle for the dollar, so make a beg, do shalele. Use the money well. Talk to the right people. They are working from their heart, not from their pockets. I beg, tell us, when you are selling, this one 30 seconds, before I'll come to you, okay? 30 seconds. When you are making a deal or going to sell a house, what is the motive? Is it money that you're going to make from the project, or your customer or your client?
So if I am working with somebody,
one answer. If you're working with a client, going to get a job, get a client a house, are you looking for the profit or the money you're going to make from the deal?
I always
hold on, or you are looking to make sure that your client gets the best out of the deal. Yes, I mean, which one?
I look forward and I work hard for my client to get the best out. As I said.
Good. Simple answer. Mr. Boateng, tell me, if you're going to write a loan for your client, obviously work for a bank, you have to make money for them, you have to, do what is right for you. That's how you live. That's where your bread is. Your client also is looking out for the best deal for themselves because they want to get their money right. What is your motive?
My motive basically is to get my clients satisfied with the deal and build relationship. I want to build stronger relationship through my business.
Thank you for that answer. I just wanted to get a straight answer so that our listeners know that we're not just talking to any all the regular or usual realtors and mortgage loaners out there. These guys are out to get your money. We're talking to, these are real persons. Okay, people who are working from their heart. Again, they are doing a lot of things for their community without even asking for money for. This man, I know what Davidson Zigah here, the Ghana Professionals of North America organization, when he started that youth group, I know how you struggled. I know how he's been so selfless, putting his own money in. Nobody gives them money. You started this clothing drive thing, giving to the needy.
Yeah.
Man, like, these guys are serving the community from their heart. Boateng, I know he goes to churches Sunday, from Sunday to Sunday. He's going to churches, talking to the people to let them know the right steps to take in terms of getting their money right and doing the right things, their credit, and nobody's paying them, and these people have families. And so one of the reasons why you have to do business with these people, this gentleman, is that they are looking out for you. That's why I asked them the question, and you didn't take them 1 second. They didn't blink. The first thing they said was, they are looking out for you. Okay, so we have an issue here in our community where people are saying, why should I do business with my fellow African men? They will know my business, and before you know it, people will know how much I earn, people will know there is that issue. So a lot of times people are skeptical when they want to do business with fellow Africans or fellow Ghanaians. Please be thinking about that question. Mr. Producer will give us one music. Be thinking about that question. When we come back, you would like to go into that. Fair enough?
Yep.
All right. Stay tuned to WGH 98.3 FM. This is the Progressive Mind Show right here. This is your host, Senna. We shall be right back.
Inside the desert, vultures circling round my head, but thanks to God now, I made it out of there. I was just another sheep inside the belly of the beast, but thanks to God now, I made it out of there. Hallelujah. This ain't lucky, no. Can't you see the hand of heaven is upon you? This ain't lottery, no. This is 40 days and 40 nights. Zigah, you shall find. I say more muscle to your hustle, more butter to your bubble, more blessing to the talika. May God give you all the barika. More muscle to your hustle, more butter to your bubble, more blessing to the talika. May God give you all the barika. I was lost inside the desert, vultures circling round my head, but thanks to God now, I made it out of there. I was just another sheep inside the belly of the beast, but thanks to God now, I made it out of there. Hallelujah. Outside and the night has turned to day. I see clearly now. I used to be lost and God showed me the way. I see clearly now. All I see is blessings every time I look back. I see clearly now. Hallelujah, meje baba mojuba. Meje rashe. Hallelujah. Meje rashe. Hallelujah.
Welcome back, my people. This is the Progressive Mind Show right here at WGHC 98.3 FM. Your voice, your music, your station. Please do not forget to keep your donations coming in, okay? Go to WGHCFM.org and make your token donations to us. It goes a long way in helping the cause and building the community. Like I said, and like I always say, you may not be here to do 2, 3, 4 hours, to help, what we're doing, but your money will go a long way. And that is your way of building the community. Because guess what? If we keep saying that, Africans, we don't help each other. Africans, we don't we've said that enough and we know that. But what are we doing about it? It will take you. I know Femi Black Up, big up, one of the great artists in our community. Black Up, looking for one of your music to play. So shoot me one. Let me play it for you. All right. Linda Okanse, big up to you. So what I'm trying to say is that if we don't start building our community, folks, nobody's going to do it for us. It's enough of our community is this, and we don't do this, and we don't do that. We can start doing it ourselves, and it will not come by going to sticking to your 9-to-5 job alone. It will start by you extending help to community organizations like Ghana Professionals of North American Organization. WGAC is here. There are other community networks that you can join. $1 out of your pocket or 30 minutes out of your time will go a long way. All right. Okay. Before we went on the break, I was talking to my gentleman here, Mr. Davidson, Kwame Zigah, who is a realtor and the president of the Ghanaian. I keep messing this up all the time. Don't tell me. I'll tell you. Ghanaian Professionals of North America, and then Mr. Boateng Ahyiah, who is also a mortgage loan officer at Wintrust. Okay, I love Wintrust. I mean, one of the biggest, I would say, mortgage banks in the country. All right, there's an issue of trust. Africans and Ghanaians don't like to do business with each other. I asked you the question before the break. Who would like to go first? Who would like to take on this one?
I will take it on.
Take it on. Tell us why people should trust that you, a Ghanaian and African, will do a better job and do it well than anybody else.
Thank you, Senator. The first thing is I have a solid bank behind me.
Okay.
We do loans in 50 states.
Okay.
That notwithstanding, I have been able to tear down walls. I believe communication is key. Mm-hmm. I have always made sure that I am able to avail myself for my clients. If you have a problem mm-hmm. with a client, mm-hmm. the client is not satisfied. Mm-hmm. The client is coming to you with a lot of uncertainty. Mm-hmm. You would have to tear down these walls and make it very, very simple. First of all, they're calling you at unusual times. They need something answered, some questions answered, and that is why they're calling you. You should be reachable. Okay. So I have availed myself to my clients all the time, sometimes at the detriment of my family. Yeah, but I know how to juggle between this. My agents, Mr. Zigah can attest to that. He calls me and I always call him back. If I'm not reachable, I might be on the phone with another client, I get back to him. So I'm not the person who I would say has been shy, will shy away from problems. Mm-hmm. I deal with them every time.
Now, not necessarily shying away from the problems, but when there's this perception that, minyonko Ghanaian, my fellow Ghanaian, Myonto Ghana violo no over social security number like when you once, because you would have all sensitive documents from them, right?
Yes.
And there's this fear or this apprehension that you might not just keep it tight, but you will tell the next Ghanaian, and then before you know it, everybody in the community know their business. Okay. My brothers, this is a perception in the community. Help break that thing for us.
I was just coming up to that.
Okay.
I started off by saying I work for a very big bank.
Okay.
And we are part of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, which is FDIC.
Okay.
that alone should be enough. But I would want to go further.
Okay.
There are laws that have been enacted to protect you, the client. Federal Housing Act, Equal Credit Opportunity Act.
Okay.
These acts are there to protect you,
the clients.
So we don't, first of all, discriminate against you. So we don't pass on your information to any other person without your consent. So if you have heard about how banks who do not follow these guidelines set by these institutions, how they are fined, sometimes you will be scared. They are fined huge sums of money. On a typical deal, how much would your house cost for somebody to risk divulging your information to another person? Let's say you're going to buy a house worth $200,000, but a bank can be fined millions and millions of dollars. So what, I would not even go home and share your credit information with my wife. No.
Right.
It's not going to happen because that is a lawsuit right there. Right? So we are working with, I'm happy to be working with this bank which is so solid, and with the training that we get every time, nothing would click you say that, hey, man, go out there and divulge some information about, a client to somebody, because it is not worth it. I do not get to practice in 50 states like I do now. If I share your information and you get to find out, sometimes it can be imprisonment. Right. Is it worth it? I have a family to protect. I have a family to take care of. So why would I sort of risk my daily bread just because of divulging, because I want to divulge your information? That is not going to happen. We work with a very reputable institution, very credible institution, which will not allow that to happen. Because of that, I'm not allowed to carry files even home.
Wow.
I cannot carry files home to work on. Everything that I have to do has to be done, and then I have to make sure that I shelve everything after work.
And when you send emails, you send password.
My company is so, I would say, we have to password protect any private or sensitive information. Let me put it that way.
Password on it.
We put password on it. So if we are sending anything with your date of birth, with your address, with your social security, it has to be password protected. That goes to the extent that, this company is serious.
So that when the customer receives it, the customer has their own password.
You need to use your social security, the last 4 digits of your social security, to get into that document.
Wow.
So it is not easy as people may perceive. Right. Secondly, we have created, because we pride ourselves in protecting clients' confidentiality and their personal information. If you would want to send us information, we have created a special, I would say, share file. You go to that portal to be able to send us information. That is a secured website. Nobody can get into that system. So that is the extent to which companies, and for that matter, my company, is going to make you out there secured.
Right.
There are so many ways that we can actually take applications.
Right.
I personally can meet you face to face. I can actually take information over the phone. I can also let you go online through the secure website and then give me information so that I can also protect your information and get back to you through these medium.
Absolutely. Mr. Zigah, thank you so much for that wonderful explanation. The number to call to ask any question, we are about closing up this conversation, 773-942-7167, 773-942-7167. Mr. Davidson, please go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to add to what my colleague has just elaborated. I think for the trust in the community, I would say that is my, number one goal, to build that relationship and trust directly with the person.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter where your mom works at, how huge, how secure that company is. But because of your relationship, you'll feel more comfortable working with your mom, right? Exactly. So building that relationship is my number one priority.
Okay.
Besides that, I think we work in a system where there are rules, regulations binding us. A real estate career is not just somebody selling something on the street. You have to go to education, go to classes and stuff like that. And besides that, there are city, state, and federal laws that bind what we do.
Right.
So I would say number one thing is that we as the professional, we have to prove to our clients that we are professional.
Okay.
If you show the client that you are professional, they can have that trust for you.
Okay.
And secondly, we have to lift that ego on ourselves and make sure that dealing with our client is all about them, not us.
Not you.
So we take the ego off. If we do such things, the community, our friends, fellow Ghanaians or Africans will be very comfortable, working with us.
Right.
So those are some of the important things that I think is very necessary. Besides that, let me say, last time a friend, trying to get a rental place, said I should help him. So after getting the place and stuff like that, he doesn't know that even your security deposit, the landlord's supposed to be paying you interest.
Wait. The landlord is supposed to be paying interest on the security deposit that you give the landlord?
Yeah. The landlord is supposed to pay you interest on that.
So when can you demand that? Is it when you're about to leave the place, or
you can do when you're about to leave the 6-month period and stuff like that? But there is a interest on security deposit. That is the city law and the state law right now. But people don't really know.
Nobody knows
exactly. So that is why, sometimes we think because the person is from Ghana, the person is from Africa, doesn't have the knowledge. But this same knowledge we are using, people that really embrace us, we are using this knowledge to help them out. You see? So if we show ourselves as a professionals, right, we respect ourselves and lift that ego. It's not about us, but about our client, about our fellow Ghanaian, about our fellow African. I think they will be more open, because if we just want to depend on the company we work for, how big it is, and the secure system and stuff like that, even the federal government have been hacked a couple of times. You understand what I mean? But building that strong relationship, you cannot tell me right now that your mom will take your social security and just give it to somebody.
No.
So if you build that strong, there are friends here in Chicago because of the relationship we build. Even it's more than blood.
It's more than blood.
You understand?
Yeah.
So we should try as much as possible to understand that it's our client first, their interest first, their safety first, their investment first, before anything else.
What do you do to build trust? How do you initiate that among the Ghanaian community? Briefly, 30 seconds each, and then we'll go to the next question. We only have 5 minutes. Please, I'll start from Mr. Zigah. How do you take that initiative in building trust with your clients?
Well, first of all, by getting in front of them. It's always getting that opportunity to sit in front of somebody and try to talk and explain what you do, pass on some information, which is education. Which you have to be a resource, because this person is coming into an area which you are a professional in, right? So you would have to educate, help tear down walls by explaining the process. It is very cumbersome. It is all paperwork.
Right.
If there is somebody out there listening to me, buying a house is not like going out there to Walmart to buy some goods, right? Groceries.
Right.
This involves paperwork.
A lot.
They would request for paperwork upon paperwork until they are satisfied, right? Because you are coming, you want to borrow money, which, to be honest with you, they don't know you. They only know your financial records, and that is what they are. So they also need to do some background check. Right. They will ask for your income documents. They will do verification of employment. They will check your credit, among other things. And the house, the property itself you are going to buy, because somebody is putting so much money into it, they need to make sure that that house, there are no problems with it.
The point I'm trying to get to is, how do you initiate? Because you know what? we become so pessimistic in this community to the point where I see fellow Ghanaians, I see fellow Africans, and I walk past them. Now, typically, I don't do that, but I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah, I'm just coming to that.
Right, okay.
I'm just coming to that.
Please.
And that is where I started by saying that getting in front of them. So what I tend to do is to go into churches.
Okay.
Right. Once I go into churches, it is through, the help of somebody, the pastor or the head of that congregation who allows me to be in front of them. So by doing that, I start educating them. So it is a gradual process. If they have questions, you answer questions. If you are not able to answer questions, right, of course, then you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
How would they trust you? So you, first of all, get in front of them and then try and explain things that they don't understand. So you can actually break the barrier that you have between the two of you.
Right.
They will be calling you maybe from time to time if they have issues. If you are not reachable, if you cannot address their concerns, then where can you actually bridge the gap between you and them?
Right. Please go ahead.
Yes. To directly
Briefly, our time is
answer your
fast.
question, how do we build trust?
How do you initiate
And build
that trust building process?
Exactly.
What do you do? Like when if you go to Ghana first, or you are back from work, or you're walking in town, you see a fellow African, you know that this is an African. You know, hey, what's up, man? What's your name? You know, like, you know, my name is Davidson. I just want to know you. I think you're an African by your shirt, or, you know, I think you're African. I just want to know you. This is, you know, do you do those things? Because it's good to start those things so that you already have a relationship before they even come to you.
Exactly. Yeah, wonderful. So, building trust, I take it, initiating trust, I take it as serving the people.
Okay.
You have to submit yourself to self.
What specifically do you do in terms of submitting or serving?
Exactly. For instance, I can say right now, if the Ghana National Council President Pakwesi is doing a great job, he's building trust by serving the community, doing good things.
What has he done? Like, if you say serving, what is he doing? Like, specifically, if I'm serving the community, I'm coming to WGHC and I'm offering my 2 hours. I'm doing all this research. I'm not getting paid, right?
Right.
So this is tangible.
Yes.
So I'm saying, tell me the tangible things that you initiate. Like, do you pick a phone and just check on?
I'm just on that way. I'm just on that way.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, to build trust, I take it the first priority is to serve.
Okay.
Even if it's a client that called me today, how can I serve my client?
Okay.
That is my mentality for it. Because if I go in with serving, then what I do will give them that, you know, motive of knowing me well and also trusting me. But besides that, somebody called me with information about, you know, real estate and stuff like that. What I normally do is schedule a meeting. Let's meet. You know, there are a lot of agents out there. I can tell you for sure, they do all transactions online, you know, and stuff like maybe at closing when they are getting their check. No, I don't operate like that. You call me, we'll talk, we'll meet, you know, I got to know you, you got to know me, and then we'll take it out from there. That, you know, give me a lot of confidence, you know, to better serve my client. And my client, based on that, they know me better. And if they know me better, that is when they trust me.
Okay. All right. Our time is up. I know you want something to say.
I just wanted to say that, I mean, if somebody out there is listening and would like to reach out to me, they can always call me on my cell phone, 773-620-9855. The number to reach me again on is 773-620-9855. But I would say that nobody should ever get up one day and say, hey, I'm going out there to buy a house. It doesn't work that way. They need our help. For anything, they need information. And we are out here to present to them the information for them to make their own decisions. We are not going to impose on them any thing than help them make their own decisions. And that is why we are doing this. Right. So if they need anything regarding trust and stuff like that, we've been doing this. We've worked with, I have worked with doctors. I have worked with pharmacists. I have worked with every single professional. So
high profile personality.
That's right. So when it comes to doing this job, I can actually vouch for you that I will be able to deliver.
Confidentiality. Yes,
deliver this transaction successfully. Aside of that, as you rightly mentioned, confidentiality is very, very key. Confidentiality of your information. Nobody would ever hear from me that, hey, I've been working with Zigah. There is not a single day that I call Zigah and say, hey, Mr. Zigah, this person, this is his date of birth. This is that information. We don't do that. It doesn't work that way.
And in addition to that, I think more of it, we have to change our mentality. Because based on the past experiences, then we assume a lot of stuff these days.
Like
that okay, in the past, maybe so and so African man or Ghanaian did this and that and that. Based on that, it's better to go and work with somebody else. You know, the system is changing, especially if you don't. And if you don't have that much of confidence, get closer to the person and know the person more. Because it's very necessary to support our own. It's very necessary to build our community. It's very necessary for us to get together, hold hands together, and succeed together. So that is the reason why we have to change mentality. That is the more reason why Ghanaian Professionals of North America has come to existence to help one another to succeed as a community, not just individual. Coming up this August 19, we have our annual barbecue. Partner with GNC, we're going to do business. August 19.
Oh, you changed the date?
Yeah, August 19. Okay. We're going to partner with GNC to do back to school gift to the kids, our students, and also we want to promote members' businesses, like our own, business. So if you have a business out there or you have anything to support, please, give us a call or email us gpna1957 at Gmail. Again, gpna1957 at Gmail. So I would say let's change our mentality and let's support one another. That is the only way we can move forward. I can tell you for fact that currently there is this Croatian guy called Lino, just referred to me by Kamanzi.
Oh, okay.
And this guy is doing well, a millionaire and stuff like that. He's trying to sell a property, and they called me. I was like, okay, you want to sell this property? I give market analysis and value of the property. But what I do is, first of all, schedule a meeting. I met this guy, very lovely. I've been able to, introduce myself and let the guy know me. Right now, we are like family. Even that property, because of the education I have given, but this is somebody who have a successful business. The education I've given him, we look at various options to sell. But first of all, he wants to sell, right? And I've been able to study the market in that particular area and explain to him and give him various options. One option is to sell, one option is to what? Hold on, and one option is to put it on rentals. Right now, that property is on rentals, making more money for him than he could have sold it. So we are helping a lot of people, successful people, doctors, nurses in the area and stuff like that. So based on our profession, let's change our mentality, get to know your professional, and trust him enough to help build the community.
Right.
I would want to
throw in the interest rates. Okay, in your closing remark, throw in what the current interest rate is, and if it's advisable for people to go and refinance.
Okay, so I just want to wrap up by saying that if you ever would want to consider working with Wintrust Mortgage, one of the big things that I have come to learn is that there are a lot of first-time buyers out there, like some of the younger, the millennials. Let me put it that way. And when you are young, you trying to get a foot up in the mortgage business or residential market, you need some help. And one of the key things that they need to know is that there are financial assistance out there for them. If you happen to be with Wintrust, you can access up to 5 of such down payment assistance programs. We have the First Home Illinois, which a lot of people know as Ahyiah. We also have the City of Chicago Home Buyer Program. We have the Cook County Home Buyer Program.
Free money.
if you decide you want to live in the house for more than 5 years,
some of them 3 years.
yes, some of them 3 years, but most of them, if you would live in the house more than 5 years, and it's limited. I mean, credit. It has credit limit restrictions on there.
Right.
You have to. It has also income limitations,
regardless of the area.
regardless. I mean,
no, in particular areas.
In
Some particular
certain
areas.
areas.
Certain areas in Chicago.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is why
Or
we
Cook
have 5, right? So everybody has their unique situation where they want to buy a house. So if you sit down with us, we can actually show you or tell you where you can actually, buy the house and participate in these programs if you qualify. We have the Cook County, like I said, and we have the Federal Home Loan Bank of Chicago. These guys are giving 7,500. These guys are giving 7,500, 6,000 in some cases, 5,000 in some cases. People who qualify can use these as part of their down payment and their closing cost. So do not think that you are on your own.
You have to pay back though.
Some of them you do have to pay back. Some of them you don't.
You don't. Okay.
Right. So we have
But
to
you have to call to find out.
call to find out which one you qualify. For instance, the 7,500, you can, if you want to live in the house for 5 years, it is forgivable.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
If you want to contact me, you can always reach me on my cell 773
Right.
620 9855.
Right. Okay, listeners, we have come to the end of this evening's program, and it's been very informative. And I know, guys, we're going to do this again. If you can put your number down for me, I'm going to read out to our audience. Before I close the program, before I sign off, I just want to give a shout out to Eura Kote. Wow, that's a nice name. Eura Kote. Thanks for joining the Progressive Mind Show, for joining the conversation. Jeanette Penny Larry, you shared the feed. Thank you so much for doing that. And Don Brain Capri Ford is still on the line with us. Maxwell Tiamwa, Elliot is still here, and all our Ernest Boateng. Femi Blackup joined us a moment ago, and Alexander Ofosu as well. All too soon, the program has tonight's program has come to an end, and we have to call it. We've eaten 10 minutes into our time. We're thankful for you for hanging out with us. We are always appreciative for your time, listeners and our audience of this wonderful show, which is the Progressive Mind Show, and the supporters of WGHC. We are so grateful and thankful to you. Next week we are coming your way with a wonderful program. As you know, with Progressive Minds, we come here with information, and that is what we are about. We are building our community with information. As you have heard it, we've shared a lot of information, and we need your feedback. We need to build this together. So keep chiming in, keep bringing your contributions. All right, next week we'll be talking to two great ladies, a human activist and also a historian at the Chicago State University. We are going to be talking about the Afro-Latina history and the Afro-African history. Okay, you will be want to delve into deeper things about the African heritage and the linkage between us and the South American community. There's a lot that we don't know. Okay, excuse me. And then we are. I'm sorry. Then Progressive Minds is determined to bring resource people who can educate us, because it's light, okay, that we need. We need that light to be lit, and once it's lit, it brings confidence, because when you know, it unlocks the power. Self-identity, self-confidence unlocks your power. All right, and this is what we are about. The gentleman that spoke here today, Mr. Davidson Kwame Zigah. Davidson Kwame Zigah. I'm so excited this evening. Davidson Kwame Zigah. He is a realtor with Kale and also the president of the Ghanaian Professionals North America. Okay. And Mr. Boateng Ahyiah is also a residential mortgage specialist at Wintrust Mortgage. Wintrust Mortgage needs no introduction. The number to reach this gentleman, firstly, Davidson, is 773-403-5073. 773-403-5073. That for boats, we call him, is 773-620-98550. 773. Yes, okay, 773-620-9855. Yes, 773-620-9855. And that for Davidson is 773-403-5073. Again, it's been wonderful. Next week, Saturday, I just left one announcement. I'll do that quickly. Next Saturday actually is Ghana Fest. Coming Saturday is Ghana Fest. Don't miss it. For all the food, the music, the culture, don't miss it. It's at Washington Park, right?
Yep.
Okay. And the gate fee is just $10. It's nothing. Come there and have fun, and also in network. Okay, for all you young professionals and singles, come there and network. You never know. And then on the 19th of August at 2 p.m. right at Jackson Park, 6151 South Stony Island, the Ghana Professionals North America is organizing their annual barbecue back to school program, and is being and they are also doing this to support and promote creativity in their community. So if you are a small business person in the African or Ghanaian community, this is where you have to come and network. All right, do not miss it. The 19th of August, which is next 2 weeks. I'm not going to speculate. It's the 19th.
It's 3 weeks from here.
3 weeks from, okay. 19th of August, 2 p.m. at the Jackson Park. Do not miss it. And then don't miss coming Saturday program as well, which is Ghana Fest. Don't miss that. And then stay with us. Come join us again next week, Tuesday. It's wonderful coming your way. Right? Don't spend your money anyhow. Do not misuse the money. Give value to your money because you work hard for it. And why not give your money to the people in our community? You see, the Asians do it. The Japanese do it. I mean, the Asians and Japanese are the same people, right? Okay. The Hispanic, the Jewish do it. All right. Yes. Europeans, everybody does it. There's a reason why. Because everybody is firstly community conscious. Let's build my home. Why would you take care of your home before taking care of somebody else? Yes. There's no excuse for us.
Makes sense.
There is no excuse for us. Ghanaians are buying homes. Africans are buying homes. We are renting, but we are using other resource people. It's okay. But can we look within ourselves first and promote our young men and women who are doing these things? At the end of the day, the money stays in our community, and we can only build our community by patronizing ourselves and doing it by ourselves. No other race and nobody else, no leader, no president will do it. If you and I don't start doing it by helping our community and helping this, our professionals and businesses and non-for-profit organizations within our community, and patronizing ourselves and using our individual talents that we have in here, firstly, okay, then we'll keep talking about the problems. But I think the times have changed, and young people are doing it. We are doing it, and it's going to happen. Thank you so much. God be with you. Next week, Tuesday, we shall be coming your way again. The Progressive Minds is coming your way again. It's been wonderful hanging out with you. This has been the WGH 98.3 FM. Your voice, your music, your station with your favorite host, Senna, aka Alinko. We shall be here next week, Tuesday, 8 to 10 p.m. God bless you. We see you again.
Thank you.
Belly of the beast, but thanks to God now I made it out of there. Hallelujah.